Say what?
Hello and welcome back. It's time for Say What, where we hear from those connected to the industry and about what's going on in our world of electrical apprenticeship, including the topics that you're suggesting. So keep those coming. I'm your host, Cindy Sandifer, and I'm here with Todd Stafford, the Executive Director at the Electrical Training Alliance. This is our last episode of 2023. So we're just taking some time to look back at the year. Todd, we've been cutting up a lot before this, by the way. Highlights from 2023. Couple things that stand out.
You got to define cutting up before we just jump into this conversation. Okay.
There's been a lot of cuts and bloopers.
Right.
Let's say that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Good. Define 23. Well, it's an exciting year, no doubt about that. With the move we made during NTI and have to change locations in a matter of days when you think about it. And the staff was outstanding response with everybody that works on the project made that happen. It's pretty exciting. But overall, it's about our model, what we try to do, take care of apprentices. That's what we try to do and our focus. And I'm very excited what we've managed to accomplish this year and deliver the curriculum, the courseware, and the benefits for the apprentices, what we do, the ETC, the structure. We've changed a lot of different methods. Not change for change's sake. We're not doing that. We don't believe in that, but it's necessary for us to accomplish the goal now, today, and go into the future.
Yeah, and I think like as you're talking, I'm thinking about all the things. If I start back in January, I kicked off 2023 at the Electrical Workers Minority Caucus conference, and when I say I can't think of a better way to have started my year. It was passionate, it was emotional in all the right ways. It was this beautiful moment, and then from there, I feel like everything just built. And like you said, just all of these things, watching our CML, the computer mediated learning, this model, and having a bit of an inside look. I mean, I'm not even going to like claim that I know how all the intricacies are, but being able to see that, and then the PTSI rollout, and then the UPS strike, and what we had to do, and I think one thing that a highlight for me was seeing JTC's, IBW, NECA, like all of us like come together, and you watch this NTI moving, all these different things
we take for granted. We just a normal part of the industry every day, which we shouldn't take it for granted. We should not, because that relationship we have between all three the entities of the Electrical Training Alliance, of course, NECA and IBEW, they're all there, and how we all work together. That's what our job is, because when we do that, that's what's best for the apprentice. That's who we're here for, and we got to remember that when we do that, because we have disagreements between the others, and you're going to have those. But how you handle that, how you agree to disagree is what matters, and it shows a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, and that's how you throw out the bad ideas, right? You throw out and have these discussions, and you push back for the sake of moving forward.
Exactly.
Right. Taking the next steps.
That's our focus.
And I feel like that this year has been a lot of that. There were moments of like, again, we can point to any of the different labor disputes that may have happened. So things had to change, kind of on a dime, right? Just moving and, but being able to support the labor movement, right? To support.
Well, that's who we are anyway. Yeah. So that's a no-brainer, non-decision point in my mind, seeing that. But it does cause additional work, but okay, it's just what it is. It's worth the cost. The effort is always worth the cost, is what we look at. And that's what we try to do, support our industry in several ways. And other industries see that and recognize it, which makes it even better.
Yeah. And I feel like even in this year, there's been continued focus on mental health. And I've been happy to see that just through, maybe the different healthcare plans or the things that are being discussed. And I feel like I've been really proud of our industry, because safety is such a big part of who we are. And I think recognizing, yes, there's the things we think of with OSHA, CPR, first aid, those sort of things, but it's like recognizing taking care of each other.
How many of the accidents that happen on the job site are due to absent-mindedness? Somebody's worried about something else that happened before they got to the job site. So it matters. It matters all the way around. We're starting to recognize that. Well, that's not true. We've always recognized. We just got more tools now to start putting in play to help.
That's exactly. Yeah. And as part of the IBW, NECA, ETA, like DEIB efforts, and that's one thing we've talked about, is this is a safety thing. If people don't feel safe emotionally, mentally, psychologically on the job, that's going to impact.
You're distracted on a construction site. You don't need to be distracted. So.
Absolutely. What'd you learn? Anything like that you can think of that you learned about our industry, about our staff, about yourself this year?
It's reinforcement. I mean, reinforcement, dedication, reinforcement. No matter what level where you go in the industry, who you talk to, there's a dedication to support the industry, want to make it grow, make it better, try to find ways to encourage people to get involved in the industry, first of all, and then find ways to benefit the whole organizations we finish, all organizations, which I didn't really learn that, but it just reinforced. It's reinforced every time we throw something new comes at us, one way which you never know. The changing of the location of NTI or our regionals or the UPS strike, all those things that come into play, we see people just step up. The resilience is there.
I think that's so. I think you stole mine. So now I got to think it. No, but really, that it does reinforce, and I think listening. You know, it's such a big part of communication. But I think this year, that's one thing that stood out to me is really listening and seeking the way it's. I guess I've always heard it said is seeking first to understand and then be understood. And so it's like if we're listening to each other, like genuinely, not for what we're going to say next. Yeah. But to listen.
That phrase means a lot. It really does. And our industry does that quite well in some ways, which is very impressive to hear. So you don't see that in a lot of places. So it's good to hear that. So.
Yes. And then seeing just the different things that are being done for instructors or training directors, different. I was able to attend the New York State instructor training. And that was just watching, what they're doing there. And then I know that kind of thing is happening all over.
Right.
And it's just to see the powerful ways in which we are supporting each other, training each other. Look, the iron sharpening iron. I love this, like not reinventing wheels, but saying, hey, what are you doing? How are you?
We learn from each other. Exactly. Matters. That's what we do.
That's huge. Something you're most proud of
the continuous development and rolling out a new courseware we do, because you think, that's boring. Courseware is not really something to be excited about, but it really is, because the feedback we're getting from the courses that we're developing is a new method of delivering information to a student. Because I recognize that new method is there, but the feedback we get is showing the students are retaining more and learning more. I mean, statistics show, data shows that point is happening, which is success. That's what we try to do. That's pretty exciting to me. I know most people look at it, that's kind of boring, but that's what we're here for. That's what gets exciting.
Yeah. Well, and you're a data numbers person, so when you can see how it's affecting, right?
It's pretty clear. And how to explain to others that, all right, here's what we've done and why, but here's the consequences and results and benefits and detriments of what we do. And you weigh all those out and look at it, we've done pretty well. It's looking good for our industry.
Yes. And me being the, opposite of you in a lot of ways in that regard, just that regard.
Short, tall.
So then the height joke has to come. Do you all understand what was going on before we started recording this? I was getting picked on. It sounds like.
To get your feet on the floor?
Yeah, I do have to sit forward for anyone watching. It's to make sure my legs touch the ground, or my feet, not my legs. That's all different. Anyway, okay. What am I most proud of? I think we talk about ASK, attitude, skills, knowledge. And I think for me, I feel like I've seen so much in the attitude realm this year in a good way. Just this positive, I think, we talked about with NTI or with whatever, people jumping in, and then the participants, of course we have to do what we have to do, but them being so willing to make that change happen, to be grateful.
I heard zero complaints. I heard zero complaints, where it comes to. I said, wow, pretty impressive. That good.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that to me, seeing us really, to me, kind of grasp this siblinghood, if you will, right? The brother and sisterhood. And I've just felt there's a lot more connection, and I'm hopeful to see that continue and grow.
I'm sure we will. We can't do without that. It's going to happen.
No, we can't. We won't be who we say we want to be and who we are without it. So, all right, season greetings for the listeners. Anything you want to extend to them?
Just enjoy the holidays. It's time to relax a little bit if you get a chance. I hope you do. And we got a lot more to do next year, though.
Yeah.
That's good,
Yeah, get some rest, eat some good food, enjoy whatever you celebrate. I totally agree. So, we want, as we're closing out this last episode of 2023, and I'm pretty sure it feels like we just did this for 2022. So time is certainly flying. But as we close out, we want to ensure you, the listeners, how much we appreciate you. And it's just our pleasure and privilege to serve. And I'm not just talking about the podcast. I'm saying the things we do, why we do what we do. We love to serve our industry. and we love
That's why we're here.
to serve you.
That's why we're here, right? So that's our focus, our mission.
Exactly. If we're serving the industry, it means we're serving you, and we do this for you. We're here for you. Help us keep this podcast. Help us keep Say What centered on what you want, on what matters, on what will help you. That's why we ask for your suggestions, because we enjoy doing that. Well, sorry,
Right.
I can't speak for anybody else. I enjoy doing this, but it's also like,
It's
okay, if
torture.
we're doing it, and
It's torture, but we'll get
it's
through it.
torture for everyone else, but they do it for me. They're so sweet. We want it to matter to you. We want it to be helpful. We want you to at least, whether you're jogging, riding, whatever you're doing, if you're listening or watching. So please do send over suggestions. Say what, SAYWATT at electricaltrainingalliance.org, and let us know what we should be chatting about. Our next episode is coming to you in January, and we will look at what's ahead in 2024. Remember to stay connected with us through our podcast, newsletters, social media. Stay powered up, and we will see you next time. Happy holidays, everyone.
Say what?